It's working. I think so. First. Hi, can you hear me okay? Just wanted to make sure that this is working. I'm just going to put my cell phone camera here for a second. This is actually an experiment. This is my first time ever. Oh, it's going to here. Hold on. I can hear myself because I had my audio going. Yeah, we're good. So, all right. So this is the first time actually doing a live stream from the GoPro Hero 9. Very first time. I'm gonna stop scheduling live streams because I feel like it's it never goes according to plan. New bike. So what? Real quick before we go over to the whole bike and what's gonna go on to it. The Beta had a charge issue back in October. It stranded me, and once like a car or a bike strand me once, I get a little, my affinity for it kind of goes away. And so all it was just the wiring harness and the charge system had an issue. Beta even acknowledged it was an issue and replaced battery charging or wiring harness and charge system. They replaced everything for free. I just had to pay for the labor, which was super nice of them considering it was a 2016 bike. Before that happened, I was already had a plan to sell it eventually. And then once that happened, I kind of, escalated. So I listed the bike in December on Adventure Rider for sale for $7,000. I had about, I think 35 likes, 2,000 views on that page. And then I had like maybe 18 private messages. Only one person actually offered me less than 7,000, but everyone was kind of like waiting for taxes, waiting for the snow to melt, yada, yada, yada. And then one guy finally last week was like, I'm in Utah, I'll take it. And so, so I got the money. The beta's picked up next week. And so that's gone. The beta's gone, unfortunately. It's not that I'm going to be done with betas forever. I just, I don't have the space. As you guys can see, this is my whole workshop. So we've got the GS tucked away against the wall over here. We've got the 750 over there. My K75 is actually at a friend's house because I need to get my whole basement cleared out so I can build out this bike. It's a 701. This is not anything special or rare. Hopefully the stream's still working. Yes. I'm going to keep this video under 10 minutes and then I'm going to do something different with the stream after that. Nothing at all special about this kind of bike. There's millions of these, thousands of these around the world. You guys all know the 690 701 platform really well. This is not a 2021. The 2021 model year, if you're in Europe, has a couple of changes. So instead of most of you that don't know, the 690 had a really nice TAC and display on it. That's the one that Harry has, my friend I ride with. He has a really nice computer display. In 2018 or 19, they basically went to this little mini display, which is kind of similar to what they have on the 500s. And for the 2021 model year, they've brought some of these lights, I think, back here. They've also added a gear indicator, or maybe it's a shift indicator. I don't know, but they've basically improved for 2021. This is unchanged from 2020, or this is a 2020. What makes this bike different is this fat. I don't know how wide this angle is. This thing is fat. So those of you that don't follow bikes too closely, at EICMA 2019, back when we actually used to have motorcycle shows in person, Husqvarna released the 701 Enduro LR. If you look closely, actually, you'll see you've got some wrapped fuel lines here that kind of feed back in here into the intake area. They're obviously kind of sealed up from the heat of the exhaust. You've got two of them actually, one up high and one a little bit lower. So we'll actually dig down here. So the LR is, here's the underneath so you guys can see. So you've got this here coming out. It's linking up there with that one. So when they announced this at EICMA 2019, they started taking deposits, I think, in the US like over the winter of 2020, so January, February, March. And these finally started arriving in the US and Canada like in August, I think. And the timing for me wasn't right. This is the bike that I wanted as soon as I saw the EICMA release. And I kept frantically checking like to see when it was coming available, when it was shipping, yada, yada. And then when I heard they were taking deposits and I still had the beta, and I was trying to pay off a bunch of other stuff like my car and other things, I just didn't want to spend or commit to a $12,500 bike at the time. Yeah, this thing is $12,500, by the way, MSRP, so it's $500 more than the base 701. But if you were to purchase the LR kit, which unfortunately is no longer available, I'll get into that in a second. The LR kit is $2,500, and that $2,500 gets you the new fairing. You also have a redesigned seat. You have the front fuel tank. You have a second fuel filter and fuel pump. It also will come with some different connectors for the radiator and such, and all of your hoses and everything like that down there. And then finally, it comes with this switcher module for your front and rear. That's the extra bits. That's $2,500. So if you were to buy a 701 Enduro and add the LR kit, it becomes like a $14,500 bike. Or you can pay $12,500 and you can have it with a 2-year Husqvarna 24,000 mile warranty, as opposed to KTM's 12 and 12. So anyway, so this thing, timing didn't work out for me. They started showing up. Guys all over the place started posting pictures, took my LR, yada, yada. I kind of forgot about it until the beta stranded me. And then I started looking around and I found, at the time, there were 30 Husqvarna LRs on CycleTrader nationwide for USA. And some of them were marked up and some of them were just MSRP. From the course of like November to January, that number dwindled down to like 20. And I thought, it's wintertime. As soon as spring hits, these are gone. And then I found out that for 2021, they weren't making this again. In fact, because of Euro 5 and testing and other, European requirements, not only did Husqvarna say there's no 2021 LR, no matter what Web Bike World tells you, there is no 2021 model of this. Husky then took a second step and they pulled the LR kit. You can't buy it anymore. There's guys in Sweden and Denmark that you can't purchase the LR tank kit anymore. And so as soon as I heard about that, I said, well, let me go sit on one because maybe, I'm a big dude. The GS, I flat foot. I feel really comfortable in the GS. I manhandle it. I don't ever feel like it's too big for me. Most dirt bikes feel tiny. So I sat on this thing and I'm like, oh, this feels really nice. I just want lower pegs and a little higher bar and it'll be perfect. And so that day I went home and I called the dealer. They agreed their pricing was $12,500, no fees, no tax because New Hampshire. It's 4 hours away. So drove 8 hours just to test sit on this thing. And then I heard actually, because I was like, man, this is kind of scratched up everywhere. And they were like, oh, well, we've got one in the crate. And I'm like, I'll take that one. So went home, got on my check for $12,500. They uncrated it, and I waited for the weather to look nice, and here it is. So no 2021 of this model. I'm going to assume there were less than 100 of these in the U.S. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but given the pre-order deposits plus what I've seen on CycleTrader, I don't think there's more than 100 of these in the U.S. And it rubs people the wrong way with the fat tank, especially if you're looking at the front here and you think, oh my God, that's going to be bad if I drop it, right? Because it's just going to crush this radiator. I mean, this is not good. And especially when those parts are questionably no longer available. So I'm just going to say this is a risky bike to purchase. It might have a whole bunch of problems when I drop it. Who knows? But the beautiful thing of this thing, before I end the stream, is that you guys all know the fuel range of the 69701 with a rear tank. As you guys know, the entire rear subframe is basically fuel tank under there. And then once this gun runs dry, you just flip a switch, boom, and then you're on the front fuel pump and fuel filter and front tank. And so you get a combined 310 mile range, normal riding. If you're doing a day of dirt, well, 2 days of dirt, if you're doing 300 miles, you'll probably get about 350 mile range. If you're doing cruising on the interstate, and you're fat like me and you've got 80 or 100 liters of stuff behind you, then you'll probably get like sub 300. But yeah, it's a 300 mile range 701. So I'm stoked. That was really it for this live stream. I wasn't going to do a very long one. I just kind of wanted to show you guys. Yeah, I went over by a minute. I just want to show you guys the bike. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a more polished video in 4K, and I'll publish that as its own video. But obviously, I'm glad that you guys got to tune in. Half of the mods have already arrived. So, a whole bunch of stuff here, carbon fiber bits, Husky parts, heated grips, SAS Delete, Rad Guard, Hand Guard. We have the Raid Garage air filter, air intake is here. Whole bunch of stuff for Vanash Motorsports, like riser, steering damper, different guards and bits, fuel tank, fuel, you know what I'm talking about, this thing, replacing this guy. Whole bunch of stuff is arriving, and then plus we got like a full moto-minded LED kit with windscreen is coming. The Recluse is on its way, and I'm actually rushing because Monday morning I've got to ship off the front and the rear suspension to Solid Performance and the PA, and they're going to do a WP Pro upgrade cartridge for the front, and then a revalve and spring with an X-Trig preload adjuster on the rear. Yeah, so a whole bunch of shit's going to happen to this thing over the next month. I look forward to sharing those videos with you. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry if I missed the chat room. I really am, but I'm holding a GoPro right now. But I'm really excited, and you guys should be excited, and I really hope this fuel tank doesn't suck being so far out. Look how fat that is. I mean, if you look at it next to the GSA, though, it's like, oh, I get Adam has a kind of a trend here. But with the GSA, you've got these, like, crash bars, and your natural crash bars here, which is just the boxer motor. But this thing... I mean, it's not good. All right, cool. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I'm sorry I couldn't respond to the chat, but I'll hop over there now and reply to you guys. Thanks for watching. Ride safe. And how do I stop this damn thing? Let's see.